I always wished I could be a detective, yeah, but I'm very conspicuous, so I can't really make it.
Hii kazi Lupita inakuanga kazi ngumu kwa ule ajui.
If we were born together, why does she look different and I look different?
Ikifika Saturday itakuwa imekamilika.
Ooh, the issues. They laugh at you. The name callings.
Yellow man, yellow man, yellow man.
The stares.
I think I also see beauty in albinism. I don't know whether others do it, but I see it, and I'm so proud of it.
Ah, different.
It is simply a skin condition. That's it.
So we're here today to talk about Lupita Nyong'o's film, In My Genes, and the state of Kenyan filmmaking in Kenya. And I guess we should start off by asking about the state of filmmaking in Kenya. Maybe by beginning by telling how you came to make this film and who you work with in Kenya.
Well, I began making this film in 2006. It was my final thesis project at Hampshire College in Amherst, Massachusetts. So yeah, it began as a school project, and I went back home in August of 2006 and was there for 8 months working on the film. And yeah, I mean, when I got there, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I just wanted to make a documentary. The subject matter, I wasn't sure. And how it came to be about albinism was because my friend who's in the film, CK, she lived across from me for 10 years. And I never knew and I never understood her condition. And when I got back, my mother had just been to the first Albinism Society of Kenya meeting, and she was raving on about everything she learned about albinism, and I was shocked and quite embarrassed that I called CK even an acquaintance or a friend and I didn't know about her condition. So it dawned on me that this could be a very good project for me to work on and for me to learn something and to teach other people as well.
35 films from 16 countries across the African continent. This is Africa on Film as far as the New York African Film Festival is concerned. And here is the youngest filmmaker, Lupita Nyong'o from Kenya. Lupita, how old are you?
26.
Oh my goodness, she's going to be a star.
No. My name is Mole Mutua. My name is Kawila Mutua. My name is Makasi Mutua.
Lupita Nyong'o's movie is called In My Genes. It's her first film.
So really it's an intimate introduction to what it means to be a person with albinism. It's a celebration of difference, which everybody can have something to go away with. It's great.
All these people and then you.
Wow. It's exciting. It's good stuff. I'm really happy especially for people with albinism, especially now with what's going on in Tanzania. I mean, we've all heard of the horrible killings taking place in Tanzania, and I'd really like my film, the more it's seen and the more and more audiences see it, it's about shedding good light on these people and just sharing their humanity. Yes, that's another chance to do that.
Lupita Nyong'o, part of a new generation of passionate African filmmakers. Femi OK for Inside Africa, New York.
Thank you.
Kenyan activist Wangari Maathai is the subject of a new film. We'll hear from the Nobel laureate about the documentary Taking Root and the environmental movement she created.
never give up in our fight for a better government.
My name is Lupita Nyong'o and I'm a third-year student, an acting student. I just closed The Winter's Tale at the Yale Rep, which was my Yale Rep debut. It was so much fun working with Liz Diamond and working at the Rep with so many, I mean, this was a huge cast of we were 16 plus musicians and everything. It was just such a wonderful introduction to the professional theater in America. So as I get ready to leave, I'm really amazed by how well the acting program is designed. In your first year, you really spend a lot of time learning about yourself and learning your strengths and your weaknesses. And then in your second year, it's the learning turns more into strengthening your weaknesses. And then the third year is going back to who you were when you first arrived, and making sure that shines as much as possible. And in our first year, Ron said to us, "You're not here because you can't act. We bring actors who already know how to act. We can't teach you that. All we do is equip you with the tools to make sure you're the best actor you can be." I received a letter from a girl, and I'd like to share just a small part of it with you. "Dear Lupita," it reads, "I think you're really lucky to be this black, but yet this successful in Hollywood overnight. I was just about to buy Dentsure's Whitenicious cream to lighten my skin when you appeared on the world map and saved me." My heart bled a little when I read those words. I could never have guessed that my first job out of school would be so powerful in and of itself, and that it would propel me to be such an image of hope in the same way that the women of The Color Purple were to me. I remember a time when I too felt unbeautiful. I put on the TV and only saw pale skin. I got teased and taunted about my night-shaded skin. And my one prayer to God, the miracle worker, was that I would wake up lighter skinned. The morning would come and I would be so excited about seeing my new skin that I would refuse to look down at myself until I was in front of a mirror because I wanted to see my fair face first. And every day I experienced the same disappointment of being just as dark as I had been the day before. I tried to negotiate with God. I told him I would stop stealing sugar cubes at night if he gave me what I wanted. I would listen to my mother's every word, sitting right there, and never lose my school sweater again if he just made me a little lighter. But I guess God was unimpressed with my bargaining chips because he never listened. And when I was a teenager, my self-hate grew worse. As you can imagine, happens with adolescence. My mother reminded me often that she thought I was beautiful. But that was no consolation. She's my mother. Of course she's supposed to think I'm beautiful. And then Alec Weck came on the international scene. A celebrated model. She was dark as night. She was on all the runways and in every magazine, and everyone was talking about how beautiful she was. Even Oprah called her beautiful. And that made it a fact. I couldn't believe that people were embracing a woman who looked so much like me as beautiful. My complexion had always been an obstacle to overcome, and all of a sudden Oprah was telling me it wasn't. It was perplexing, and I wanted to reject it because I had begun to enjoy the seduction of inadequacy. But a flower couldn't help but bloom inside me. When I saw Alec, I inadvertently saw a reflection of myself that I could not deny. Now, I had a spring in my step because I felt more seen, more appreciated by the faraway gatekeepers of beauty. But around me, the preference for light skin prevailed. To the beholders that I thought mattered, I was still unbeautiful. And my mother again would say to me, "You can't eat beauty. It doesn't feed you."
And these words played and bothered me. I didn't really understand them until finally I realized that beauty was not a thing that I could acquire or consume. It was something that I just had to be. And what my mother meant when she said, "You can't eat beauty," was that you can't rely on how you look to sustain you. What actually sustains us, what is fundamentally beautiful, is compassion for yourself and for those around you. That kind of beauty inflames the heart and enchants the soul. It is what got Patsy in so much trouble with her master, but it is also what has kept her story alive to this day. We remember the beauty of her spirit even after the beauty of her body has faded away. And so, I hope that my presence on your screens and in magazines may lead you, young girl, on a similar journey. That you will feel the validation of your external beauty, but also get to the deeper business of being beautiful inside. That there is no shade in that beauty. Thank you.
And the Oscar goes to Lupita Nyong'o.
Steve McQueen, you charge everything you fashioned with the breath of your own spirit. Thank you so much for putting me in this position. It has been the joy of my life.
The thing about having your image projected on many screens all over the world is that your image becomes something bigger than you. It has a life of its own. And that life is inspiring young, dark-skinned, or any complexion people to see beauty differently is a powerful thing.